Today we are making an orange cake. This is an orange and almond flourless cake. We have polenta and almond meal lending a beautiful golden color, fresh orange rondelles on top. To start with, we're going to line our tin. So releasing the clip, putting paper on the base, replacing that, and then we're done. To cook our oranges, we just need to fill a saucepan with water. We're just going to cook them for 30 minutes until you can stick a knife in it really easily and it needs no resistance. So I've got my orange and it's still a little bit warm, but it just shouldn't be hot. You shouldn't really ever blend anything hot. To make things as easy as possible, I'm going to prepare all my liquid component in the recipe in the blender. So I'm adding my milk, olive oil, the sugar into the blending container and just blending everything together. And then I'm adding all my dry ingredients, so my almond meal, my baking powder, bicarbonate soda, the polenta, and a tiny pinch of cinnamon. Just does something really nice for the aroma of this cake. So I'm just mixing all these ingredients just to make sure that everything's really nicely distributed. And then I'm going to take our liquids and add them in. So mix everything. We have no dry bits left. The mixture is nice, smooth, kind of lightly orange. Now it's time to pour our batter into the tin. So we are using polenta in this cake. It's going to lend a beautiful orange color, some nice texture, but it's important to let it rest for 30 minutes at least to an hour to allow that polenta to absorb the moisture so we don't have any kind of firm textures. So our cake has cooled nicely and we just need to release it from the edge of the pan by using a small knife and just gently pushing against the tin and running it around the edges. For the decoration, I have some blood oranges. Always put a piece of wet paper on your chopping board to stop it wriggling around. When I'm peeling oranges, I always think it's such a terrible waste to just lose the skin, so it's nice to peel some, and then we can candy it and then use those strips to decorate the top of the cake. We've got this lovely, beautiful red color on this blood orange. So we've got this cake underneath has a really intense kind of whole orange flavor, and this just gives us a bit of freshness on top. Taking the ends, trim those off, and then we have a nice flat base, and we just start by running the knife along one side, and then we use the white part as a guide, so the part that we can see, we just keep tracing around the edges. It's always useful to use a serrated knife when cutting fruits, I find, whether it's a small one or a big one. So I'm just using a gentle sawing motion to go all the way through. The oranges are delicate, but we do want to cut them as thinly as we can. So now I'm going to start decorating. I'm going to kind of make a gradient pattern with the oranges, going from light to dark. Tiling them up against each other, letting them overlap very slightly so that we have nice coverage all the way across. I love when they go from really dark to quite light. Into a small saucepan, I'm just putting in equal parts of sugar and water, and then putting all those nice pieces of the peels into it over medium heat. Just bring them to a boil, cook them for a few minutes until they're nice and soft. You can just pour these into a jar and leave them in the fridge for garnishing or adding an extra burst of really strong aromatic orange flavor to something. So there we have it, a really intensely orangey almond cake, full of orange flavor and topped with fresh oranges. And I've just taken some of the candied zest syrup and spooned it on top as well. You need a sandwich when you can have a cake for lunch.